The fourth industrial revolution, the Great Reset, you will own nothing and be happy, and the global resistance to come. This week, the world's richest and most powerful people have jetted into the beautiful ski resort town known as Davos to link up with the World Economic Forum. The fourth industrial revolution and the Great Reset are catchphrases that have been doing the rounds in business, tech and policy circles, which in recent years has been actively popularised by Klaus Schwab, founder and executive chairman of the World Economic Forum, and who is quite imaginatively one cat away from being a Bond villain. Previously, the Great Reset has been described as an internationally coordinated project. It is funded by some of the biggest multinational corporations and financial players on the planet, and is taken very seriously by cooperating governments. It proposes a radical and total transformation of the global economy, its production, distribution and governance systems, and seeks to reset nearly every aspect of life on the planet.
What we will see is that everything will be integrated into an ecosystem driven by big data and driven particularly by close cooperation also of governments with business, civil society. And this revolution will come at a breathtaking speed. It will be like a tsunami.
And the WEF can hardly be said to be a conspiracy. It's not like they are hiding their intentions, and the Davos conference itself is one of the most heavily publicised events in the world. On the surface, the Great Reset wraps itself in kindness, presents itself as a plan by the world's most enlightened capitalists to reform an out-of-control system, and promises to solve the most pressing challenges faced by humanity. But their critics, well, they're not having any of it, and some think that this is yet another attempt by the Davos Brigade to pose as saviours of the world whilst advancing their own interests. Many think that the WEF is a push towards more automation, more mass surveillance, and to normalise biometric tracking tools, even though they've distanced themselves somewhat from the latter. Some go a step further, saying that it's about the WEF's corporate backers controlling as many elements of planetary life as they possibly can.
The fourth industrial revolution will lead to is a fusion of our physical, our digital, and our biological identities.
But what do we know? The minions, who are just trying to go about our daily business, earn a living, and go home and feed our families. Well, for one thing, we can all agree that the WEF wields a tremendous amount of power, and they seem to have a humongous amount of money to advertise their agendas. So instead of going down the route to whether this is a conspiracy or not, let's look at where all this money and power is coming from.
In porno, we call this the money shot.
So according to the publication Forbes, so you can take it on board or discard it at will, in order to attend this highly exclusive event, you either have to be a member or receive a private invitation. And membership costs from as little as $60,000 to as much as $600,000 for full membership. There's also an additional fee of around $27,000, and that will get you into the event at Davos itself. So clearly this rarefied event excludes regular people like you or I, and it is people like you and I that this event is supposed to help. But get this right, because paying members make up just about every multinational you can think of, including Facebook, Goldman Sachs, BlackRock, the Qatari Investment Group, all kinds of multinationals. And in fact, it boasts over 1,000 members, paying members. Now, you can add to that list Amazon, who are renowned for treating their employees really badly. Bay Systems. Now, Bay Systems is a company that has made billions from selling arms around the world. And Nestle, who were accused of aiding and abetting the illegal enslavement of thousands of children. Are we really meant to believe that these companies are in it for altruistic reasons and not in it to purely benefit themselves? And so much for greenwashing, because oil companies like Chevron and car manufacturers like Volkswagen are fully paid up members.
How dare you!
It seems to me that the World Economic Forum is nothing more than a self-serving ultimate lobbying organisation. And what do lobbyists do? Well, they lobby either directly or through special interest groups to curry favour to benefit themselves. And history has shown us, hasn't it, that whenever there is a lot of money put into selling a specific message to the general public, it isn't there to benefit the people. I mean, take Uber for example. When did they ever lobby to benefit its workforce? I'll tell you when. Never. And yes, Uber is a fully paid up member of the World Economic Forum. The problem with the Great Reset is that it puts too much faith in the ability of discredited governments and corporations to re-engineer society in a way that better serves the needs and desires of all citizens. And this was evidenced, in my opinion, by their colossal failure in response to a global pandemic. And if we couple that with emerging decentralisation, tech decentralisation, then membership to the WEF is an attempt by corporations to cling on to what they already have. Just remember, when they say you will own nothing and be happy, another little WEF catchphrase, what they really mean by that is whilst you will own nothing, they will own everything. And the way I see it, maybe we should be looking less towards the Great Reset and more towards the Great Escape. But what do I know? After all, I'm just a taxi driver. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you want to see more, please like and subscribe. There's a brand new format coming shortly. You can DM me on Twitter at Sean Paul Day, or you can email me at seanpaulday@gmail.com. So all that's left for me to say now is I look forward to seeing you all out there on the mean streets.